Stop right there. Jinxing does not exist. We are not in third grade. Delete that comment. Yo ho ho, Da Mafia. Welcome to a very special edition of the Da Mafia Report. Not only is this the first playoff video of the year, this is also the return of Dan Mitchell. The real Dan Mitchell, might I say. Several of you probably saw that I ended up stepping back in my temperament as far as, putting out ballsy titles, right? Like the Buffalo Bills are about to destroy this team, annihilate this team. But then I ended up stepping back, like a timid little bitch. But then this morning I woke up and I looked myself in the mirror and I was just like, did they forget who the fuck I was? I'm here to pump you guys up. And I genuinely believe that the Buffalo Bills are about to absolutely dick slap the New England Patriots this coming Saturday at 8:15 p.m. So regardless, like I said at the beginning of this video, jinxing does not exist. A guy making a video in his spare bedroom in his house plays zero effect to the outcome of this game. But regardless, we already know this outcome. We already know what's going to happen. And I'm not even going to lie to you, this is going to be a challenge. In full transparency, I am a little nervous. A lot of it has to do with the fact that it's the playoffs. I mean, legitimately, I would be nervous regardless of any opponent that we played. I mean, if there was some type of special NFL rule where they ended up implementing an 8th seed and they put the shittiest team in the NFL in that and we had to play them, I would still be nervous. It's the playoffs. It's an entire different season. What makes it even worse is the fact that we're going up against a divisional rival. You've heard me say this. You have heard so many different Bills and NFL personalities say a team needs to be built to beat other teams in their division. And unfortunately, we just so happen to be going up against the New England Patriots, who, might I remind you, we did end up splitting with this season. Granted, the first game, they got a hell of an assist with about 65-mile-an-hour winds. But regardless, this team has beaten us, and Bill Belichick is probably, actually not even probably, he is the best coach ever to play. So we certainly have a challenge, but at the end of the day, our team is better. Our team is better, and I really think that we're going to go out there and we are going to punch them in the mouth. Now, several of us have been seeing all of the weather reports. It's going to be fucking cold, right? I was reading 1 degree. Today, I'm pretty sure that I read 0 as a high at night with a real feel of like -7. Regardless, it's going to play a factor into this game. I mean, I'm not sure about you, but if you have ever been out with any buddies, especially if you're from the Buffalo area and you're throwing the football around in temperatures such as that, that ball feels like an absolute brick. Getting hit in that type of condition hurts like a bitch. Let's just be completely honest with ourselves, and it's very easy to cough up the ball. So really what I could do is I can sit here and I can tell you exactly what I think the Patriots are going to do, what I think the Bills are going to do. But there's a couple of things that I wanted to start this episode off of things that can absolutely not happen. Number one is going to be giving the ball back to the Patriots. We cannot turn over the ball. And I'm talking interceptions, I'm talking fumbles, I'm talking botched punts from Matt Hawk. We need to be very conscious of ball security. And it is not going to be any easy task by any means. When you have temperatures like that, turnovers are almost bound to happen. Getting hit in that type of cold, very easy to cough up the ball. And at the end of the day, the only thing that we can hope is that the Patriots end up getting the turnover bug rather than the Buffalo Bills. We need to be holding on to that pigskin like the Buffalo Bills players' lives depend on it. But one thing that's going to help me sleep at night is the fact that as of today, there is no precipitation. There's no rain. There's no snow. It's just going to be a cold night. From what I understand, it's going to be a clear skies, but just exceptionally cold. So as long as we can continue to get that running game that Devin Singletary has emerged into proving to us all that he can very early, and he avoids fumbling, he avoids turning over the ball, I think that our offense is going to be set up in a very successful place. Mostly because no wind, no precipitation. I really don't foresee this affecting the passing game by any means. So if we see any type of interception whatsoever, we can go on ahead and say that it was indeed Josh Allen's fault. I mean, unless, of course, there's some other reasons, like a receiver stops running their route, maybe there's a tip ball at the line, but ball security needs to be absolutely number one for the Buffalo Bills. If this cold is going to affect anybody, it is going to be Mac Jones. Little do you know, Mac Jones is from Jacksonville, Florida. He played college in the University of Alabama, and he is an NFL rookie. And granted, he does play football in New England, but I will probably go out on a whim right now and say that this is hands down going to be the coldest game this man has ever played. In fact, I might even be willing to gamble that this is the coldest evening, the coldest day, the coldest place that Dude Man has ever been in his entire life. I guarantee you he's never felt 1 to 0 degrees before in his entire life. So, surprise, surprise, we all know that the Pats are legitimately going to go on ahead and they are going to run the ball. That is going to be their game plan going into it. Now, we all know what they did to us, and we all know what several very strong running teams have done to us in the past, but you have to put trust in our overall defense. I mean, if you look at our defense, we are the number one defense in the entire league. We lead the league in 5 different defensive categories. And once you look at that first Pats game, if you subtract that massive run that the Pats ended up busting off, I'd say that our defense ended up actually holding and containing that run game pretty well. Now, we can never expect a defense to go on ahead and make sure that they do not release at least one splash play. I mean, it's just the luck of the draw at this point. But if the Patriots need to rely on Mac Jones winning them this game with his arm in temperatures that I guarantee you, Dude Man, has never experienced, it's going to be a very, very hard day. I have no concerns with our defense. I think that we're going to show up, and I think that we're really going to take away their passing game entirely. And so what also is very good is the fact that based off of injury reports thus far, I swear to God, this is the healthiest team that we have seen since the beginning of the season. In fact, maybe even training camp. So we have all hands on deck. We have Star that's going to be taking up all of those double teams. And so our run defense is significantly better when he's on that damn line. So it's going to be interesting. The Pats, typically, they put about 6 dudes on that line, especially when they're running the ball, and their offensive line, that is. So they're going to try and make some adjustments where they can get this run game going, but I think that our defense is just going to be too much for them. As far as our offense is concerned, like I said, the Buffalo Bills need to establish Devin Singletary early. We need to open up play action, and we cannot turn over the ball at all. I'm very happy with the fact that there's no precipitation. Wind's not going to be a factor at this point. I see Josh Allen throwing the ball quite a bit on Saturday night. Now, let's just hope that these receivers, they're going to be out there and they're going to be able to catch a 70-mile-an-hour brick that's going to be going right into their direction. Those poor receivers. I mean, Stephon Diggs even just recently admitted that when he needs to body catch anything from Josh Allen in practice, it hurts. And so imagine what that's going to feel like at 0 degrees. But realistically, you know the Patriots are going to try and bring some pressure on this. They're going to drop back a lot of DBs into passing lanes. I think that if Brian Daboll can go on ahead and just implement a pretty similar game plan going into what we ended up doing to them previously in Foxborough, I think that we're going to be able to make a lot of this happen. Josh Allen needs to run the ball a little bit. I know everyone's butthole always gets tight every single time that he does run the ball. But that's exactly what opens up the passing game. He needs to establish himself as a threat, as a runner, so that we can actually go out there and punch the Patriots in the damn mouth. If I was a gambling man, I would go on ahead and I would say that the final score is going to be 35-21. I think it's going to be a sound win by the Buffalo Bills. I think Josh Allen's going to throw for over 300 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. And then I also foresee Devin Singletary running in a couple as well. I think that it's just going to be a game that all of us are going to be absolutely pumped from our couch or out at the bar, wherever we are watching it, and we're going to be proud of our damn team and go on into the divisional round. Do me a favor, leave a comment. What is your score prediction to the game on Saturday night? I always love hearing that. Good news is that I will be streaming live from a Buffalo Bills bar in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So you will see my live game reaction from that same bar. Y'all who have been following me for a long time are pretty familiar with it, that's for sure. If any of you guys are in Myrtle Beach at all and you want to come hang out with me, my dad, and a bunch of Bills Mafia down here, shoot me a DM on Instagram at realdanmitchell or at Twitter. Let's go ahead, let's meet up, baby. Let's slam some Labats and let's cheer on our boys as we watch a homicide on national fucking television. Dom Mafia, thank you so much for tuning in to yet another edition of the Dom Mafia Report. And before I let you go, you better always remember, let's go Buffalo.